say them scholars got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifest.
Coach, some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New York Jets. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Lights out. 57's right. Not today, you are. Not today.
On first down, Huntley, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Lady.
2nd and 5 now. Darnold, this one caught by Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
First down.
Outside. 58, come on.
On first down, it's Darnold. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Come on.
Faking the give, Darnold. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And some space here. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Jackson, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. They'll run on first down. Huntley, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd down, Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Now, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
On 2nd down, England. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Jackson on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Jackson to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
At the 31-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Darnold down to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
After the sack on 1st down, Darnold throwing left side. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score Jets 7, Ravens 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80%, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darren Lee came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Here
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing is Jackson. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd down, Huntley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Huntley. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
58, come on. Too little,
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jets have once again taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short boot, take it at the 21. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it out past the 35. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Jackson now towards the end zone for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They throw again on 2nd down. This one's complete. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. It's hard to know who's more dynamic between quarterback Lamar Jackson and that man Hollywood Brown. But they're just going to try to get the ball in Brown's hands early and often like they did there and see what he can produce. So many folks in Baltimore excited about this young pup, and for good reason. The rookie first-rounder out of Oklahoma is explosive. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Ingram. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 58 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets will extend their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Now Adam Gase has put a pair of fingers up in the air. His offense is going to go for 2. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So here's Darnold now as he'll lead his guys up to go for 2.
You gonna see me in your nightmares.
They'll try to run it in with Bell. And he is going to come up empty here as they stop him short of the goal line, and this will remain a one-score game as the lead holds at 7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
At the 20-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Darnold. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 19-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. And he will find his man on the outside. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Darnold now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll keep it on the ground. Huntley. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
58, come on. Here we go. Shit, man, 80.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Mosley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. On 2nd down now, Huntley, and he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Mike 57, Mike 57. Hey, they're scared.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Derek Wolfe able to record his 5th sack of the season. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jordan Willis has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
To try again after the sack. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Shoot. Quick down.
Now Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Austin. Look at this spin. Balance.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the Ravens' 15-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Huntley. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go, son. 57 to Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't it?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there.
57 to Mike.
On 2nd down, Huntley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol from back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal.
Go, go.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down near the 5. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Chris Moore, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Let's go.
Darnold now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Huntley, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Off of play action, Darnold. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll try the left side. Huntley, and that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Marr able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Willis in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Jackson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 46 yards. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson will throw again. Got a man. It's Brown. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 21. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Snead's got it. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
That's another Baltimore first down. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Brown, the lone receiver, left.
53, 53. That's it. Here's the punch on
One last shot for Jackson. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a time.